Into the fog-covered streets of London hurry two familiar figures as they quickly hail a hansom cab, then speed on their way to another case of murder, mystery, and mayhem. This is Harry Bartell, and welcome once again for two more exciting Sherlock Holmes mysteries starring Basil Rathbone and Nigel Bruce. When I was the announcer on the 1945-1946 season of Sherlock Holmes broadcasts, radio was at its peak. I took some time recently to do a little research on just what was being sent out over the airways each evening, and I came up with some interesting information. There were more than 16 mystery shows presented each week, with the new adventures of Sherlock Holmes being one of the most popular. That comes down to a minimum of 2 radio mysteries a night. Now, I'm not talking about shoot-'em-up cops and robbers type shows, but real mystery shows with carefully worked-out plots, a main character the listener cared about and who solved the crime, and a lot of interesting suspects peppered in between. The Second World War was winding down, and everything was still scarce. New automobiles wouldn't hit the streets until late 1946, so everyone had to make do with what they had, and a lot of what they had was old and patched up in order to work. It was such things as I've just mentioned that kept people at home conserving their money and time, and it was what made them turn to radio as the great free entertainment medium. A lot of people were mystery lovers, and it was easy to find them seated in their favorite armchair, the radio humming away beside them as they tried to outwit Bulldog Drummond, the Falcon, Mr. and Mrs. North, Michael Shane, and yes, even Sherlock Holmes. Some were experts at it. Most were not, and that always made it more enjoyable to listen to the final solution of the crime given at the end of the program. So popular were these mystery shows that in 1946, only 1 year later, there were almost double the number of mystery shows as the year before. The sad part is that it would be less than 2 years when television began appearing, effectively ending the era of the armchair detective. But oh, what a time that was. And here, for a moment more, we can bring back a little of that time as we now listen to Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson in Murder in Wax.
This episode from the life of Sherlock Holmes will be transmitted to our men and women overseas by shortwave and through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Petri Wine brings you Basil Rathbone and Nigel Bruce in the new adventures of Sherlock Holmes.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?